Hey guys, it's me, your Slimeo Animator. I hope you're doing alright, and today I'm gonna take you with me on my animation process. I was a special request from Skelly, and today I'm gonna show you how I animate. I am not a professional, but yeah, it works for me. So, without further ado, have an amazing day, God bless you, but without further ado, let's get into it. Hello, this is our animate. First up, I open Krita. I used another software before. It was Blender, and it's a very good software, especially for 3D art and 3D animations. But since my PC doesn't have the highest RAM, it didn't really work out for me because I was trying to do 2D animations on it, but it's not very laid out for 2D animations, especially not when your PC doesn't have much RAM. So I switched to Krita, and since then I didn't have any problems, no lags, no freezes, no anything. So that's why for now I think I'm gonna stick to Krita. What you're gonna do if you also use Krita, you open a new thing. And here you can choose how high and how large your format should be. And also what's the resolution and other stuff that I don't know about for now. But yeah, you can also save your preferences here. So after you put in how you want to have it, you give it a name and then save it. And then next time when you open it, you see them here. And the reason why I have three short formats saved is because at the first time I didn't know how it works. So I was keep on creating new ones, and then one day I just found out, oh, I have to click there. So yeah, I'm gonna choose just a normal short format that I already made. So you go on create, and then here you are. Also, it's probably gonna look different when you create a new one, and the reason is that up here you can choose, and the reason is up here you can choose how you want the workspace to look like. So I have animation, but you can do big painting, vector, I don't know what that is, default, minimal, storyboard, all of that. But we're gonna stick with animation. The only annoying thing is whenever you change it, it puts everything back to default. I don't know how you change that. I don't know it yet. Maybe I find out. We see. It's a good thing because that way I can show you how you can add certain things. So you go here on options, you go on a bar dialog, and then you can choose what you want to have. So what I usually put in is extended. So what I usually put in is extended color. Why can't I track you? Ah, no. So and then you can just add it in here. So you put it in here. Oh no, you put it in here, then you can just go in between the things. What we also need is our brushes, which is this. You also just drag it here, put it inside, and then you can just swap. So yeah, also what I would suggest you to do is to make your own palette so that you easily know where your colors are. And you don't have to create them all over again every time. So you can do that by going here and then just on the plus, add new palette, and then you have a default palette. You can always go here and just swap what palette you want to have currently. It helps a lot because then you don't have to create colors all over again. The next thing is what you may be wondering, what all these tools are. You're probably wondering what all these tools are. I'm going to explain them briefly. So this is the drawing mode. So this is where you can go to your pencils and just draw. I mean, you can go to your pencils if you're not in that mode, but otherwise it doesn't allow you to draw. This one is also drawing mode. It does this. I haven't used it yet, but I mean it's pretty cool. This one does, uh, yeah. Anyways, as you probably already imagined, this one creates a line, a straight line. This one creates a square, this one a circle, and this one this. So you can choose how you want it to be. And then you have to go to the beginning, and then there you go. I haven't used those ones yet. I used this one. It's also quite funny and does this. But the main ones I also use are transformations. So for example, if I drew a circle, okay, if I drew a thing, I can just go here and just move it around, say what size it should have, if it should be bigger or smaller. And also when you press shift, it doesn't jiggle around and does this. You can have a smooth and even proportion when you make it bigger or smaller. This one is just the moving around tool, but before you can do that, I mean, you can move it around like this, but what I would always suggest you to do, because otherwise you would move the whole picture, to go over here and put in which areas you want to move or you want to transform. So I could go here, I selected it, and then I can go back here, move it around, or go back here, transform it how I want it to be, rotate it. If I would only choose half of it, it only chooses half of it, so the other half would just stay there, and I can twist this around. So always have that in mind when you apply this, or when you want to move certain aspects around, or if you want to move the whole picture around, that's fine. This one creates a circle area. This one creates, it's similar to this one. So you can just choose by lines how big your area should be and always go to the start, otherwise it won't close it. This one is you can just draw a line and then it creates the field. And this one outlines your thing, but I don't really like to use it because, as you can see, it only picks the middle. So these ones are not being selected. So if I would move it around, this would happen. You can see there's still much left behind. And you would always have to erase that, which is annoying. Very annoying. This one is if you want to see how much of a gap there is between the pixels. So if I would go very close, this one is the paint bucket also to just fill in an area. But if I would go close, yeah, there we have it. You can see the pixel. So if you use this, it counts how many pixels there are. So as you can see on the left, okay, wait, if I would put it here in the beginning of the pixel, I would say here 7 pixels and you can count it. So if I go up, this would be 6.5, 6, and so on. It also shows you the angle in which the line is. It's very useful if you want to work very precise. If you want to work very precise. This one is for any references, so you can choose a picture, drop it inside, and then you can go on here and move it around and use it as reference. For example, if I would go to my backgrounds for Krita that I created, I can just put this inside, drag it, and then add as reference. Then it would pop up here. And as you can see, I'm on this, and as you can see, I'm on the pin, and I can just move it around. Again, make it bigger, make it smaller. But if I go to anything else, I can't move it around anymore. So you have to go on the pin to move it. And now that we already have a background inside, let me tell you another thing. What I would strongly suggest you to do is if your animation is, how should I say it, very stational, the backgrounds are fixed and there's not much happening to make a pre-made background. So it's easier for you. You don't have to copy the frames. So you don't have to copy the frames every time and don't have to redraw your background all over again, which I did at the beginning. And let me tell you, it's very, very time consuming. So don't do that. Don't be like me. It's very good for creating scenes. So if you have one scene and just one background, it doesn't matter. But if you want to make more scenes in one file, in one Krita project, I would suggest you to do like me currently, add multiple layers. What you can do here. So for example, I have the first layer. Oh yeah, and also if you have any selected field, you can only draw inside this field. I tried to erase here, but it doesn't work because I have the field selected. I always forget that, and it's sometimes very annoying. So what you do, you press right mouse button, and then you go here to unselect the area. Where was I? Layers. What I usually do is have one layer for the lines, for the characters, then I add another layer for the coloring, and if I don't have a pre-made background, what I'm doing right now, because I'm not working in scenes, I create another one, a third layer for the background lines, and then a fourth layer for the background colors. You can also do that. I mean, it's probably easier to make a pre-made background because then you don't have to copy the frames around. But sometimes if there's a lot of movement and the background is just changing, it can be easier to have a background that you can edit and it's not fixed. I mean, you can draw over your background, but this can also be annoying because the background is always in the back. So even though you don't have anything on other layers, it's still there. Sometimes for me, it's easier that way. What I would do is I go to my pencils, I choose my pencil, make sure there is the right size, and let me make something simple. Slimeo bouncing from one corner to the other. So what I would do, I would create a line where he stands on or sits on. I don't know. Go a bit closer and then draw him here. And after that, I mean, you should do that before, but anyways, choose a different color and just draw how the movement should look like. So it would be similar to this. This is the starting point, this is the end. And I would draw in the frames that I'm currently on. So this is 0. I'm not very good at it yet. I still have to learn a lot about timing and spacing so that the animations look smooth. But I know a bit. So what you do, you make that, then you put a little marker right in the frame next to it, then you just continue. So what I'm gonna do is that it starts low and it gets fast. So what I have to do is I always take half of the line, so that will be here. I'm gonna use 5 frames to do that. I'm gonna animate on twos. So this would be frame 10. Then again, take half of that. Oh, and also, I would strongly suggest you to do this on another layer, so it doesn't look like this. I do a lot of mistakes while animating that could save me a lot of time. Again, I am not a professional, I'm still learning. So the next one would be here, 6. Then take again half of it, 4, again half of it, 2, and then 0. So we are right now on 0. So the next frame would be 1, 2. And also, here you can see all your layers. And if you put in the small light bulb, you can tell them to show you the last frames. Here you can tell how many frames you want to see. So 1 past frame, 2 past frames, 3 past frames, and so on. You can also choose what color you want it to be, and also say how, and also choose the intensity of the color. The next frame I would animate would be a frame where he would shrink to make that bounce effect. So I draw another line, and I have the wrong color. I draw another line, and I start to shrink him, or put a dent into him, because he's jumping. Draw the eyes a bit more below, and then sweet. Do that again. So now we're on 4. What I usually do, I just take this frame and then just copy it, and then you can just copy it to other frames, so you don't have to redraw the line every time because there's something on it. And there we go. I used 2 more frames because I didn't thought about the landing. But yeah, let's see. Put this off. So as you could see, this is very fast, but it does the job. At the beginning, you might find it difficult, like me, to find out how to place it, how it looks smooth. But don't worry. Just take your time, maybe watch 1 or 2 videos about it, or just focus when you watch other people animating how the movement looks. And after some time, you get the hang of it. Like I said, I'm also still learning to do that smoothly, and I'm just watching other animators that I love to watch. Just look how they do it. Just focus on the animation, on the movement, and then it just comes. So don't rush it and don't stress it because everything takes time. And yeah, what I'm now gonna do is I'm gonna add some colors, and also I have to erase this because now, oh, you know what? Let me just leave it inside so you have the time scale. So now I usually pick this color as base color for the slime. Oh, another mistake that I frequently do. So make sure before you color anything in that you're on the right layer. Because if you're not, and you're already halfway through it and you realize you're on the wrong layer, it could be very annoying and frustrating because then sometimes you have to recolor the whole thing. I mean, in some cases, you can just leave it in and create another layer or something like that to just cover it up, or just leave it like that because at the end, no matter how many layers you have, if it looks clean, there's no problem. You can have 20 layers, and in the end of the day, when you finish the animation, you only see every layer combined. Try to keep it simple. as less layers as possible, because keeping an overview over every layer can be a bit difficult sometimes and chaotic. But if you have special effects, sometimes you just need another layer. I mean, if you have just one picture and not an animation, then multiple layers probably makes a lot of sense, especially if you want to add details and stuff. Okay, so with that said, let's add the colors. And yeah, I know from the size of the slime it doesn't add up, but I just want to explain it to you guys. All right, there's that. And I'm gonna add a color for the background. So I'm gonna do this on the fourth frame. Should I draw something inside? Yeah, why not? So let me just draw, I don't know, a boulder inside. I'm not very good at drawing boulders, but I try my best. And another thing, when you press double click, you can select the whole frame. And another thing, if you press double click on any frame, you can select all the frames. And if you press shift, you can select how many frames you want. So I start here, click shift. So it only selects those two. But if I would go here and click here, it will select the whole frames. It also works this way. So if I go here and click down here, it selects the whole frames that I did until yet, but you have to do a diagonal. So it selects everything. Because if I select just until here, it only picks the first row. But if you want every frame, you go to the top here and then to the bottom here, and then it selects everything. Then you can move it around as you like. Also, copy it, paste it, put in hold frames. For example, I put it in hold frame, and there's another frame in between. Let's reverse that. We made the boulder. I'm just gonna select those two, press copy, and then paste them in here. Press copy again, paste them. All right, that's that. Then I'm gonna choose a color for the background. I'm just gonna go with the light gray, and I'm on the wrong frame again. I'm just gonna choose light gray. And I'm gonna choose the darker gray. And if we look at it, and if you look at the result, we have our slime bouncing from the left corner to the right corner. So yeah, that was how I animate. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm still finding my way into it and learning every day and learning new things every day. I'm also planning to do streams in the future if you guys want to see that. I also have already one video of me animating, one of the do you know the feeling when you just like animations. So I'm still gonna do more of those videos. Yeah, with that said, I hope you have an amazing day. God bless you. And again, thank you for watching my videos. And until next time.